Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 14, titled Mother. And wow, this was a pretty good episode. I say pretty good instead of really good just because there was one thing that bothered me, but I still really enjoyed this episode. And I'm going to talk about all of it in the video. You guys let me know what did you think about the episode. But before I get into it, I want to say a general spoiler warning in case you aren't caught up with The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead, I should say. And then also, if you are a fan of the show, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more content like this. But yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so like I said, the episode was pretty good. And that's a strong pretty good. And like I said in the beginning of the video, the only thing that was sort of holding me back from saying really good is the thing with Cole and the people from the stadium. I really didn't like that too much. I'll talk about that, when we get to that part of the video. But other than that, everything else was terrific. The Teddy and Alicia stuff was amazing. Starting off with those opening minutes, those were great. I mean, John Glover is such a fantastic actor. Seeing him on screen, he does a pretty good job of playing the psychopath because it's kind of scary seeing him. Just even in the opening minutes, the little smiles he would give to the cops and stuff like that. And yeah, it was also really interesting to see the apocalypse that early on. I always love when the show goes into the early days of the apocalypse. I don't know, there's just something about that I really like. And we saw it in this episode. That was pretty early as well. That was pretty much right during the turn, like when things started turning bad. And then Teddy escaped, obviously. I'm still, this whole thing of him saying the end is the beginning, I find it so interesting how that goes far back. And even like in the last episode, John Dory Sr. said that he was saying that since the 70s. So that's kind of crazy to think about. And, it kind of shows how much of a psychopath he is. But yeah, Teddy is definitely something else. I mean, he kept referring to his mom as mother. He was giving me like Norman Bates vibes. I was definitely thinking of Norman Bates watching him for sure. Also, remember when he grabbed, he reached over and grabbed Riley's nuts? that was so unexpected. I just didn't expect that to happen. It was just so out of nowhere. But yeah, he's definitely an interesting character for sure, and he's a great villain too, I think. And this is the second villain in season 6 after Virginia, and Virginia was a great villain, and now we have Teddy. And there's just something about his demeanor, he quickly, and I think again this has a lot to do with John Glover. He's a great actor because he quickly changes from being this charismatic person, and then he just quickly changes his demeanor to a very for a lack of a better term, just very scary, just his facial expressions, like when he had that standoff with Cole, you can just see it in his face, how angry he is, and he just turns into a very scary person very quickly. This was also a great episode for Alicia, and I was glad to see that as well, because that's probably been one of my biggest complaints of this season as a whole, is that there hasn't been too much Alicia, which doesn't make sense to me because she's the main character. Right, so I just felt like there should have been more with her this season, and but she, I mean especially with the Virginia arc, but it does look like she is getting a lot more with this and is the beginning group with Teddy and stuff like that, because she had a great episode a couple episodes ago when they first got introduced, and then this also was another great episode for her. So yeah, my biggest complaint for the episode was the group from the stadium, Cole and them. I didn't really understand what was the point of that, because they didn't really confirm anything about Madison, which I think is also something that a lot of people have been wondering. But not only that, they just came to the show and then they just got rid of them this episode. And also the way they all went out just didn't make sense. They all had weapons. There was I don't know, so many of them, and we had Alicia, Dakota, and Teddy, and then they had a bunch of people, and they still somehow went down. I don't know. It just didn't make sense for them to come to the show, have that little plot, and then just be gone. So that was probably my biggest complaint. Because I feel like if they were gonna bring them back, there should have been something more with it. Again, they didn't confirm anything really about Madison. They just came back and then that was it. But that goes for like the episode as a whole. I mean like the story as a whole. If I'm looking at it just by it in itself, there was a couple things in the episode that I like I said earlier, that standoff between Cole and Teddy. I really did like that scene when Cole was really trying to get Teddy to tell them where his base was. Stuff like, there was moments like that in the episode that I did like. But if you look at it, in terms of the whole story, it really didn't make any sense for them to be there. I mean, it made sense. Like, yeah, sure, they survived, but they just didn't do anything with it, would be a better way to put it. And then we had Dakota turn on Alicia also in the episode. I don't know if I can complain too much about that in terms of the character. That wasn't really out of the blue. I guess, it makes sense. I mean, she's done questionable things in the past, so it wasn't even like we trusted her or anything like that just yet. And then also she was talking to Teddy a lot in the episode, but it was just something upsetting for sure. And then we saw what happened at the end there. When they took her and put her in the bunker. I mean, I can't even believe what they're doing on this show with this nuke thing. I mean, this is just insane. And I'll talk a lot more about it in my trailer breakdown, so stay tuned for that for sure. But in terms of this episode, like I said, it was a really great episode in terms of Teddy and Alicia. I didn't like, what they did with the stadium people. But other than that, overall, it was a really good episode. And again, this season has been great. We have a new group, a new villain. I think Teddy is a great villain for sure. And definitely interested in seeing these last 2 episodes to see where it's going to go from here. But again, I'll talk more about the future in my trailer breakdown video. Be sure to stay tuned for that by hitting that subscribe button. But as far as this video goes and this review goes, I am gonna wrap it up there. Definitely interested in hearing your thoughts and opinions, so let me know what did you think about the episode in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like rating, and again, for more Fear the Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, please take care, and I'll see you guys soon.